Today I am going to be doing my 25 writer facts about me. So a few years ago I did a video called 25 bookish facts about me, and it was kind of all about my reading habits and preferences and pet peeves and whatnot surrounding books and reading. So I figured I would do a writer version of that. And I'm actually also going to do an updated 25 bookish facts about me. So if you want to see that one, I'll leave a link down to my old one. I'll leave a link down below to the old one. But I'm going to do an updated one in the next few weeks. So be on the lookout for that one. But yeah, today I thought I would do the writer version. So this is 25 writer facts about me. So number 1 is I am a mood writer. Just like I'm a mood reader, I'm a mood writer. And so I like to write stories based on, kind of dependent on whatever mood I'm in at the moment, which is why I'll have multiple stories that I bounce back and forth in. And actually, recently I've been binging a lot of Criminal Minds on Netflix, and so that's really gotten me in the mood to write a psychological thriller / murder mystery. But I'm going to try to hold off on that because I do have several other stories that I'm working on right now. So I want to try and finish one of them before I start a new one, because that's an issue that I have sometimes. I like starting new stories, but then I have issues with actually finishing them. So fact number 2, which I kind of already mentioned with number 1, is I am a multi-story writer. So I have multiple stories that I like working on at once, and I bounce back and forth between different stories, just depending on whatever mood I'm in. Number 3 is I used to write a lot of horror in middle school and high school. Number 4 is the first story I can remember writing was a ghost story that had a very bloody ending. Fact number 5 is in high school, I wrote a horror version of a Dr. Seuss book. Not one to read to your kids. So in high school, we had an English assignment where we had to write a story, a creative write-in story. But we had to write it the way Dr. Seuss would. So, you know, pretty much everything had to rhyme, like his books rhyme. And so I remember writing this horror version. Everything rhymed in it, but it was definitely not a story for little kids. Number 6 is I also wrote a lot of poems and songs in high school as well, though not horror. Okay, so poems and songs were the only things that I wrote that were not in the horror genre. I probably could have, but I didn't. Fact number 7, my favorite genre now, is fantasy and paranormal. Number 8, villains are my favorite characters to write about. Fact number 9, in middle school, I won an award for a poem I wrote. And I think I still have my book of poems that I wrote in middle school and high school. I think I still have it around here somewhere. So if anyone's interested, just leave a comment down below and let me know. And maybe I will do a video just kind of sharing some of my old poems that I wrote in middle school and high school. So let me know down below if you guys are interested in that, and I might do a video on it. Number 10, I am a pantser. So I typically write by the seat of my pants. I do not usually have an outline or know where I'm going with the story. I just write. But I am trying to be more of a plantser, so not completely a plotter, but in the middle. So I'm trying to do a little bit more of an outline, and then kind of get into my writing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'm just like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna write. So, yeah, but trying to be more of a planter. I grew up wanting to be the next J.K. Rowling and wanting to write the next Harry Potter series, which I'm sure a lot of people probably had the same dreams, considering how much Harry Potter fanfiction is out there. But yes, that was one of the things I was like, I want to read the next J.K. Rowling. Sure, lots of writers have that same sentiment. Number 12, one of my favorite tropes to write and to read about is the hate to love trope. I am a firm believer that not every story needs a romance. And I'm actually planning on doing a discussion video on this topic specifically. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I don't think every book or novel out there needs to have a romance in it. Number 14, I do not write chronologically. I skip around and write different scenes as they come up in my head. So I can't really write chronologically. Unless it's a short story, then I probably will write it chronologically. But writing a book, I have to skip around. Number 15, beginnings and endings are my favorite parts, and I really struggle with writing the middle scenes. I'm so excited to get a story started, and I'm excited to see where it ends and how things wrap up, but the middle part, I'm like, okay. So I struggle with the writing the middle part. I need strict deadlines and someone holding me accountable, otherwise I will never finish a story. I have a ton of stories that I've started and haven't actually finished. I don't think I finished an actual story since probably college, when I took creative writing in college. I'm bad at finishing it unless I have like a hard deadline, like I need to be done by this point. Which is why this year, since one of my goals is to write a book in 2019, I did tell my brother, my older brother, that was my goal, and I have him holding me accountable to check in with me to make sure I'm working on things, and I need to stick with it. Number 17, I have 4 completely different stories that I've started working on and haven't finished yet. So, like I said, I'm bad at finishing. But I am hoping to finish at least one of these this year and make that into my full-length novel. Which actually brings me to fact number 18, which I just said, is to turn one of those stories into my full-length novel and actually write a book in 2019. I struggle with shutting off my editor side when I'm working on a first draft. I've gotten a bit better, but I really try not to go back and edit as I write, but I always have a part of me in the back of my head. I'll write a sentence or I'll write a paragraph and then I'll go back and read it and I'm like, that's total crap. I need to fix this. How do I fix this? And I'll start I want to edit and I've had to like really work on, okay, that's what the revision part is for. Like, don't worry about if it's crap right now. Most of this is going to be crap, but that's what the revision process is for. And so that's something I've been trying to work on, but it's a struggle to shut off my editor self. Number 20, sometimes my villain's backstory is the story I really want to tell. So sometimes I will start writing about my villain and then I will start thinking, what made them like this? Like, what are their motivations? What led them down this path? And so I'll kind of start exploring their backstory and start to kind of write that as like a short story, sort of. I'll write their backstory as a short story. But then I get so interested in their story that I am just like, well, now I just want to write this one. I just want to write about them and their story and like forget all the other stuff. So villains to me are just super interesting. I've never written a fan fiction before, but I do have one story that kind of became a fan fiction of the originals. So if you guys have seen Vampire Diaries, the originals is a spin-off of that. And I just really love the Michelson family. I think they're just super interesting and captivating to watch. And so my story kind of started to turn into a fan fiction of the Michelson family. 22, I can't write with music in the background. I will end up singing and not writing. Number 23, I have a writing inspiration board on Pinterest that I use for writing prompts, and I have pictures on there of different fantasy worlds and fantasy settings that I use for inspiration. Number 24, I keep all my writing on my laptop. So all of my notes, all of my research, chapter scenes, character interviews, world building, everything is kept on my laptop where I can easily find it and access it. And because I have the iCloud on my laptop and on my phone, I can get access to all of this, whether I'm on my phone or my laptop or my iPad. So, yeah, everything I write, I keep on my laptop. And it just makes things easier. And last but not least, number 25, I get a lot of story ideas from TV and movies. So if you're a writer, don't ever let anyone tell you that TV or movies are a waste of time, because you can get a lot of ideas from things that come up in shows and like themes and different things that play out, and so that's where I've gotten a lot of my ideas. And like I said, watching Criminal Minds is what's really been putting me in the mood to write a psychological thriller. So yeah, TV and movies, not a waste of time when you're a writer. So that's it for this video. Those are 25 writer facts about me. If you're a writer, let me know in the comments below what are some writer facts about you. Or let me know if you related to any of these writer facts. And that is it. I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye.